Hey, this is Nate, the Causeway Caveman, and this is episode 1 of the Causeway Cave.
So this is a Boston Celtics podcast where we come at you every single week with different highlight talk or whatever the hottest topics in Boston is right now, whether it's trades, injury, anything Boston Celtics, we're probably going to talk about it, and that's just how it's going to go. With that being said, the craziest of summers kicked this off.
What's the craziest thing we had all summer that you think?
I think it's definitely that banner 18. That thing was gone for 16 years away from us. So I think that started a lot of things for everybody. So with banner night coming, October 22nd, I think the vibes are real high with everything else that's happened this summer, from Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, the depth guys.
Repeat.
That's been the biggest of talks.
Back to back.
I try to stay away from the repeat talk, though. Like, I try to stay far away from repeats, sweeps. Like, I just try to let it ride because I don't want to be the person being like, yeah, we're going to repeat.
All right, first things first then. Let's start opening night. New York Knicks, banner 18.
Yo, just saying the word Knicks has to feel dirty, don't it? But, yeah, that's going to be exciting. We're going to have Spike Lee's first banner night in God knows how long, so happy for him. Shout out Spike Lee on that. I only say that because, like, his whole summer he was like, F Boston. So it's like, hey, buddy, we're over here. That massive Knicks trade.
So you're going to be with the other super fans?
Yeah, all the super fans are going to be there. From what I know, all the big super fans will be there.
Which ones?
So GRD, Chicken Man, Aztec Gino, I'll be there. I think I already said GRD, yeah? Yep. So he'll be there, to name just a handful.
So you just named yourself as, this is Tash, by the way, producer. Thanks for introducing me, Nate. But you just said that you were going to be there with other super fans. Like, are you a super fan? Like, who are you? You're the caveman on Causeway. But what exactly is that?
I would consider it a character.
Like, what do you do? Where'd you come from? What's your origin story?
So during the NBA Finals, the Hoop Bus was in Boston during the NBA Finals. So I got out of work one day and I was walking up and I had a guy named Mook Spud try to make content on me and be like, yo, I'm going to break your ankles. Now, I don't know about you, but if someone ever comes up to me and says, I'm going to break your ankles, that doesn't go over well for any conversation. So
you're a hooper.
I would say I know how to play basketball. I wouldn't call myself the best hooper, but I would definitely stand by my defense for sure.
All right.
You could be 7 feet tall. I'll still try to lock you down even if you run me over. You know what I mean? I'll get back up. But which then gave me this wild idea after everybody was calling me Caveman. I was like, yo, me and my buddy Tyler, I was like, yo, how can I make this continue? Like, what can we do with this? Because it was one of those conversations you have with people that it feels different. Like, it's a different energy. So we're sitting there at the Greatest Bar, right? And I'm like, yo, what should we do? He's like, make it an Instagram. Let's see what happens. So the video that Hoop Bus posted, the uptick of it just kept going the whole night of game 1. So by the next game, I was in Boston. I was like, I need to find a way to wear all my Celtics gear at once without stacking it on top of each other. So instead of wearing a jersey on top of a jersey on top of a shirt, which I do sometimes at certain events, whether it's a concert or something, I'll wear multiple if I'm like meet or greet or whatever. But like besides that, I was like, you know what? I got to cut up all my Celtic stuff. So I made a couple phone calls and then brought them my stuff. She cut up all the Celtic stuff that I had and put it on this giant caveman outfit.
So you are the newest super fan as of like
I would
last
say
year.
I would say like the newest super fan of the last 6 months for sure.
When did you start doing this?
I started doing this the first game back in the NBA Finals in June.
So you did it for like a week.
I did it for like a week.
A week, like just for the finals. You didn't do it during the playoffs?
No, didn't. I went to the playoffs, but it wasn't born yet.
First day out in the field, what happened?
Just a really, really viral moment. One of the videos I think went to like 1.4 million views. Everybody was talking about it. It kept getting sent everywhere, and that's
what were
when
you doing in the video?
It was a one-on-one game against Mook Spud. I wasn't even wearing the caveman stuff yet. This is how it was like born. Is like that one-on-one game at the Hoop Bus. He was trying to make content, and then it just happened. It was born from there. So he tried to get a shot up He didn't score.
Do you know who he's talking about?
No.
Okay, so just describe what you're talking about.
So Mook Spud makes.
Actually, as a non-fan, I'll even do it for you. Ready? Check it out. So I haven't seen this guy. It's like an old dude from the Bronx, Brooklyn.
No.
He's in New York, and he like yells at people as they're walking
That's
by.
the second.
Oh,
video.
second guy. Okay, all right, my
that's the
bad.
second
Never
guy.
mind, my bad.
Right. So the first guy, his name is Mook Spud. He's a content creator out of the Boston area. He makes really good content videos, but there's rage videos, you know. So me and him were playing one-on-one at the hoop bus. So he tried to score. I was like, I don't need a
Is he
shot.
tall, short?
He's the same height as me almost.
Wow.
And so like 5'6", 5'7", but I said to the guy that runs the hoop bus, I was like, I don't even need a shot. I just want to stop him. I just want to lock him down. He's not breaking my ankles. So I stopped him from scoring the first time. He wanted a foul. It's street ball. There's no such thing as a foul. You know, like I'll get to that in a second. So then I score. Video goes and explodes. Everybody in the street screaming with me, grabbing me by like the shoulders. Just we're all screaming. So then the internet was like, yo, have this kid play Messiah. Have Caveman play Messiah. So me being me, I'm like, yo, I'll play anybody. Just send him to Boston. Get him to Boston. I'll play. Next game, George the Messiah, the real George Messiah on Instagram, he comes to Boston with the hoop bus.
That's the guy who's in New York who yells at people as they're walking by.
okay.
He's the New York City street legend. So like, he's
like, hey, fuck you, play me in ball right now, fuck you.
Yeah,
and throws the ball.
Is he any good?
He wins every time I see a clip. He's winning. So
I've only seen him lose once. I think.
he's like an older. He looks like Mr. Tag.
Like
For real. He looks like Mr. Tag for real.
so when the Messiah video got dropped, it exploded. I've never seen anything like it before. Just my phone, ding, 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 ding. It would
So
not stop.
you locked him up.
No, he definitely took me to school.
Oh.
It's an enjoyable video. He got what he wanted. He got the clip, you know. So that video on my Instagram has 7.3 million views.
Wow.
So after that video hit,
So that was the trigger of the Causeway Cave.
that was the trigger of the Caveman on Causeway. I was like, here it is. Like, so me and Tyler.
The Caveman on Causeway, which leads you to, okay, so now you're out on the street playing ball with these guys. You almost get on the duck boat. You end up meeting some of the Celtics insiders, yada, yada, yada. Now you fast forward in like through the next season, and you're forming your own podcast.
Right.
So now you get your platform.
Yep.
To jump off. So are people going to be able to find you outside at Celtics games? Are people going to walk up and approach you and talk about this podcast? Like
yeah,
in
absolutely.
person?
Yeah.
So let's suppose Celtics opening night. What are you doing?
I'll be there probably 5-6 hours beforehand. I think I'm going to get there around 12 o'clock and just rally all day. I know they got a pregame ceremony going on at City Hall. Shaq will be there. Charles Barkley will be there. The
TNT crew.
The TNT crew will be there, so that's cool. Charles Barkley will get to see a ring night too. That's good for him.
Have you ever seen Charles Barkley before? Guy's got a huge head.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like Barry Bonds.
Well, they're both bald, so that's what I'm fighting myself.
I'm thinking more steroids.
Oh yeah.
HGH.
Oh dang, yeah.
But opening nights, the New York Knicks, Spike Lee. What do you think of our starting lineup?
I think there's a hole in the starting lineup. No matter what way you cut it to me, I think there's a hole in the starting lineup, and there has been in the last 5 years.
Yo, Chris, pull your mic down a little bit so I can see your face. No, pull it down. There you go.
All right, here we go. Does that work better?
Yeah, better. Don't worry about it.
All right. So, yeah. We're chilling.
This is free flowing and chilling, man. It's all good. Don't
Episode
worry
1,
about it.
don't hang me.
No, it's all, homie. This is good. So
where's the hole in the starting five?
The hole in the starting five is at center.
The obvious hole.
The center or the power forward, but Tatum can play at the 4, so it doesn't matter. The center. Al Horford's getting old. I love KP. You can't rely on him for more than 40, 50 games. I think he played 52 last year with all the injuries, which is more combined than all the players we traded away.
How do we solve that problem though? Because I don't see where we can trade for anybody.
Right.
You know, because
cap.
Obviously we're paying Tatum his 300 plus.
Right.
And Brown is 300 plus. So where do we make the adjustment where we bring a guy in that's worth putting on the floor?
It starts with development. So one of our development guys, one of our assistant coaches, Sam Cassell, he was on the 08 winning Celtics. He helped develop.
Everybody knows Sam.
He helped develop Joel Embiid.
He's like not realizing that we're 100 years old, and like I remember when Sam Cassell played. I remember when he got drafted.
So Sam Cassell developed or helped develop Joel Embiid.
Okay.
So there's like a rapport of being able to develop those type of guys. Now, Al Horford didn't really need that much development.
So which one of our bigs on the roster do you think he's going to develop then at this point?
I would hope it'd be Cornette. I think he's going to get the start opening night. I could be wrong, but I think it's
Mr. Verticality, huh?
It's Cornette. If you see his Knicks highlights when he was on the Knicks, he was splashing 3-pointers. He was dominant down low. Like, we just play such a different type of ball.
I'm not a fan of the not closeout where he just jumps vertically because he's tall.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
the percentage it works.
It works, but it doesn't look
I've
right
done
to
it.
me.
I've done it.
You know,
when I know I'm not close enough, hell, if I'm close enough, I'll jump straight up so I don't get that foul. You know.
I'm just not a fan though. It just doesn't look right. Playing basketball, just not closing out, just jumping straight up. I mean, the numbers, the analytics says keep doing it, but
yeah,
visual wise, when you're watching the game,
I think like, Joe's gonna tell him to keep doing
8
it
feet
though.
away from him.
What do you think about the nickname they've given to the Pritchard, Hauser, and Cornette, Trace Late Chase?
What? I didn't even hear about that. I'm on my phone all the time.
Twitter's a wild place, bro.
Twitter. What is it?
Trace Late Chase.
Trace Late Chase.
Yeah, because you know how it was like Derek and the Whites. That was it last year, like that lineup.
I thought it was Daddy D White. That's what I hear all the time.
Well, no, so it was Derek White and then like the 3 white guys, Hauser, Cornette, and Pritchard. So it was like Derek and the Whites, because like Derek White, obviously.
Okay, yep.
And this year, I think they're calling him Trace Late Chase.
Trace Late Chase. I gotta,
you know,
I need to see that because that's crazy. That's heinous.
That one might stick.
Call it Blue Eyes White Dragon.
So. Moving on, Trace Late Chase. Wow.
Yeah, that's gonna be stuck in my head. That's in your wig.
I'm just trying to give you some stuff, man.
There's a nice little curveball.
Yep. I think for most of the season though, the big man depth won't be an issue because we have so many big guys like Neemias Queta, Cornette. You have the young guy Baylor. You have big man depth, but there's no one out on the roster that screams cornerstone at that position.
So how's that equate when we play, say, the Knicks and they got Cat, or we play Philly and they got Embiid? So how are we going to match up with this rotation of underqualified big men?
I wouldn't say they're underqualified only because of the coaching. Like, I really, really am sold on Joe Mazzulla's coaching ability, but I think that with playing people like Cat, we play him the first night. Play him October 22nd, right out the rip. Remember watching the LeBron James Heat the first year? No chemistry whatsoever.
This is true. They shouldn't have the chemistry.
Same thing with Dame and Giannis. Is no chemistry at first. So I think if the Celtics are able to go through that and just get through the first big man, the rest will kind of fall in line. Like Joel Embiid just said today or yesterday that he might not ever be able to play back-to-backs again. That's
really.
Swear to God.
Could he ever?
Yeah, could he ever?
That is a question.
He can't play back-to-back playoff games. But I'm not worried about any other team in the league.
You're not worried about the Knicks. You're not worried about Philly.
No. The realistic part is I'm not worried about anybody but themselves. The only team that has been able to beat the Celtics the last couple of years is themselves.
So when you see Paul George, Embiid, and Maxey,
they have to be healthy.
You don't think Paul George hasn't had a health injury since he broke his leg? Maxey's young and healthy.
He didn't have ankle injuries when he was in LA. He played all the time. I swear to God, him and Paul were all.
He had the initial injury. He was on the court while Kawhi was not playing ever, or 35.
Yeah, I might not be filled in on Paul George. I thought that he kept getting injured out there too.
No, Paul's been mostly healthy.
He's a Celtics killer though. He comes to Boston and lets it rock. So
that's a real legitimate big three. Maxey is a 25+ guy.
It's
Paul
2.5.
25.
2.5, man.
I mean, Embiid is 7+, so I mean that's got to be at least 3 at that point.
Yeah, if you take away his leg injuries, cut it at the knees, he'll still. I don't know. I don't have faith in the. If there's one team I'm definitely not scared of, it's Philly. Because the first thing I thought of when they signed Paul George was another injury guy, but I could be really wrong. But there's no team that.
So what has anyone ever been scared of Philly? Like, I'm being dead serious.
It smells there. Why does it smell in Philly, bro?
No, I'm not.
You walked over one of the greats.
I'm saying like as far as like Philly, like the teams have gone, they've always been soft teams. Like I've never been worried about a Phillies team. Ever.
I've been worried about a Cavs team before more.
I've been worried about LeBron James.
Philly was more. You were more back in like the early 2000s with Iverson and Mutombo.
And
but that's different.
Iguodala.
I'm talking about like everything that these Celtics have played. Like every team.
Yeah, that's
these
why
Celtics
I'm
have
so
played.
like I'm not worried. If we keep our turnovers down, we're mollywopping anybody.
It's not even that. Like I'm talking about the guys that like let confetti down early and shit like that. Like those guys were never like. I've never been scared of Ben Simmons. I've never been scared of Embiid. They're glass.
The only one
soft.
scared of Ben Simmons is the Knicks doctors.
Well, you know,
Nets doctors. Yeah, they're scared of the
but for a
Nets
while
doctors.
he was supposed to be like the Tatum killer and all that
Right,
stuff.
because
To me, he just was never
That was another crazy trade. Like, why didn't we just draft Tatum at 1?
I think people just hate Boston and they want Boston to lose. So anyone that's close to Boston, they try to just say they're better than them.
But it makes sense. But why didn't we draft Tatum at 1?
Why didn't we? Yeah, we had the number 1 pick.
Why not trade back and get more? If you already know what guys are taking, LA had already revealed their hand. So hey, you want to give us something for someone we don't want?
Yeah.
That was one of the best trades ever. Like Danny Ainge ever like pulled off. Like,
but if he knew he was picking Tatum, why wouldn't he just not trade away?
because he
got assets and he got Tatum.
Oh, okay,
because what he did was he had Marquise Fultz like come in to like Chipotle with them and come hang out
Yeah, I
with
remember
Celtics
that.
and like
Yep.
and make everyone think that's who he wanted. And then the Philly wanted them so because it was supposed to be Fultz was supposed to be the best guy in that draft.
And then Lonzo went to
But LA had already said
LA
they were,
already said
they
Lonzo
were
was
picking
locked
that.
up,
Yeah.
so that they didn't have to worry about that.
So all Ainge had to do was just say, okay, I'll trade for that pick, take the guy I want to take anyways, and they got another first round pick out of that.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you take more?
Danny Ainge is the fluke boom fleece master.
No,
He
actually,
gets
that
it all.
would be Brad Stevens.
Was
The moves Brad Stevens made since he started with the Celtics.
Brad
are
Stevens didn't
untouched.
draft Tatum.
I understand that, but like the moves that he's made.
Oh, yeah.
Since he's been in position.
I think it's better
Danny Ainge
he's a
gets
GM.
credit for a lot of things when he made the Paul Pierce KG move, and that's really been the major move that's landed all these other assets.
Yep.
You know, it's
Danny Ainge is
it's
a
kind of overrated
silent-
to be like, oh, well, he did this. You made one really great trade that had all these other things.
That really worked out.
Yes.
And now you're trying to do it in Utah.
Ainge drafted well. I also like that Paul Pierce likes to take credit for that trade.
Oh, he does every time.
Of course, bro. Of course.
He's like, you're welcome.
He's so funny. He's one of the most outgoing dudes I heard. Like, he's just always out there living it up too.
Yeah, I've seen him out a couple times. He's definitely living his best life right now.
Yeah, that's dope though. Some people, they just go back to where they're from. You know, he's not from Boston. He was from LA, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's everywhere now.
Yeah, he's just. I don't know. KG not coming to the finals, bro. But he'll go to the Olympics or he'll go to China to play ball with Marbury. Like, come on, bro.
You know, there's a price tag.
That's
there's a price tag for all that. Showing up, there's a price tag.
But he'll show up in Netflix wearing the Celtics hoodie. Come on now. Come on now.
So you're saying that KG isn't a Celtic? Is what you're saying? I'm
I'm just asking why KG went everywhere else but to the finals when we were hosting it.
I don't know.
It's a fan that I will say that is a common fan thread. A lot of fans had the same question. So when I say this, I speak for them too. Why wasn't KG
The fans want to know why KG wasn't
at the finals, but he would go to China or the Olympics?
How like spoiled the Boston fans that they like have to nitpick at like
the celebrities that are courtside
that showed up at the game. Like it's just so crazy. Like
I met Russell Wilson during the playoffs against Cleveland. And my buddy's like, I got to get a picture with him. I was like, all right, I'll take your picture. Do you want one with him? I was like, no. And he goes, why? And I'm like, I'll tell you in a minute. I take the picture of Nick and Russell Wilson walking through the tunnel. Oh, thanks. Have a good day. Hey, should have ran it. That was that. That was it for me, dude. That was like, that's a.
Yeah, you had to take the dig at him.
I had to. It was a perfect chance, you know. Like, should have ran the ball, but
you know what? I can't wait to see you at the games, taking digs at all the players.
No.
Speaking of games,
Yeah.
aren't you going to a game soon?
Yep. Banner night, October 22nd.
Let's talk about that because we're on your podcast, yeah.
Yeah, no, we were talking about the TNT experience that they got going on. I guess you got to get there early because they're gonna do the banner before the game time. So like you have to be there at a certain time. I think it's just be smart and line up in the line, or pay somebody to sit in the line for you so you can go out and continue to do stuff.
Where are you sitting?
I am sitting in Loge 8. Loge 8.
Where's that located?
Right underneath the banner going up, supposedly, allegedly.
if they might like move it on you last minute.
Right. You never know.
You never know.
Or you got to trust your sources, So
you got to kind of figure where it's going to be because you've been in the garden enough times and you know where all the banners are.
Right.
So there's probably a spot that's been there for a while.
Yeah.
It's probably going to go there.
Yeah. Well, there's one in between. There's a spot in between it. I don't know. The way they had it set up is when I ordered the ticket. I don't even think I have it on my phone right now. No, but it's Loge 8. So on the map.
Yeah. Hold that QR code up to the camera.
So
October 22nd,
yeah,
Loge 8.
Loge 8, and every single
just dress in a caveman outfit, you'll be fine.
Every Celtics game, everybody does like a huge half court meetup. So all the like super fans will meet up, or if like the super fans have fans, like
where you guys meet up at? And our regular fans allowed.
Yeah, everybody's allowed. There's no not allowed.
I was in the picture last year. I made it to the Red Auerbach statue. I was in the picture with all the fans last year.
Was that after the?
No, you weren't there.
Was it after?
So are you more of a super fan?
Yo, no. Yo, were you there after I saw you?
Yeah.
So I already went there before I saw you.
I understand that, but
so you went after.
All the super fans took a picture with the Red Auerbach statue for the paper.
Yeah, I was there like probably.
I was in that picture.
Yeah.
You weren't.
Hey, guess what? It's okay.
I wasn't supposed to be either. I ran up and I was just like, as they were taking the picture, I knew what was going on.
I had been out there.
I ran up and I was like, I'm in it.
I had been out there for a while and I was like, I need to figure out what's else going on. After I ran into you the second time, everybody was trying to get into the after parade with the title. So you might have found me over there.
Starting lineups. What's going on with that?
Starting lineup. I think it's going to be Derek White.
It's going to be Messiah, Caveman.
Right, yeah.
Dylon.
Hey, shout out Ice Cube. Put me in the next Boston event. I saw the Insta post. Put Caveman in the next Big 3 event. No,
Did you try to get on to the Big 3?
No, I just went though. It was a great time. They had the championship in Boston and whatnot. So me and my buddy Tyler went and made some content and then found ourselves on the floor after. So that was cool.
There you go. Okay.
Just moseyed on over. My mic too. I got to get better with that. Yeah, this is like a giant beard covering my face too. I'm still getting used to it.
I want the people to see that handsome face of yours, buddy. Come on.
Can't cover the money maker.
Yeah. So you'll see me. You'll see GRD. You'll see Ian. Shout out Ian. Super dope guy. I met him probably right when this all started. So there's a few people I met when the Caveman stuff first started that like kind of like a reserve circle of like, yo, those are like the people. So
every game you guys are all together in an area, right. And then you meet up at halftime?
They're scattered, and then you meet up at halftime.
You're going to be with them.
Yeah. So it's all scattered. But it's going to be a fun season. I think I'm going to go to some away games too. I know my buddy Neil's a big Celtics fan out here too, but he lives in Carolinas, so go out and pop out there. New York. I've been leaving my stickers everywhere, so wherever I leave them, that's where I've been. But
what's the synopsis on starting lineup though?
I think we're good. I think the first 5 games, I think we don't lose. Genuinely, I don't think we lose.
What do you actually think we're gonna have for a record? Because if you're saying the first 5 games, I personally think we're gonna win 60+ games.
I think this is the year we do it without winning 60 games. So think about it. This is my theory.
What?
This is my theory. We win the title without winning 60 games. Why? Because what did we just hear all summer? It's too easy. You didn't face anybody. Oh my gosh, you had the easiest route. Like they all think that like
that's the MO.
Right.
LeBron had the break.
But now we have Joe Mazzulla, Tatum, and Brown all pissed off. They're gonna do it with the less they're
gonna lose more games.
I think they're gonna pick the harder route.
We beat more teams by 20+ points last year than anyone ever, and you think we're gonna lose now?
I think with how load management goes now, and I think with everything that's going on, they're gonna choose the harder route on purpose.
But hold on,
how is it harder to be better than you were the year before with the same team?
Consistent,
because now they have more continuity.
Right, but you're operating differently now. Because when you were doing it last year, everyone's like, oh, they're just blowing out teams. Like, they're going this and doing that. They're going to try to do it a different way. I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to be a harder year.
So you think we're going to win by 7 instead of by 20?
Right, yeah. You'll have more games that are closer.
But that's still 60+ wins.
No. I think it's like sitting at 58, 59.
58, 59
I
wins.
say that it sounds so crazy, but it's like, what else do these Celtics need to do to prove to these guys that like we're not playing?
What else? 73.
No.
Nate, do you think 73 is possible?
I think 73 is realistic.
We've
yes.
seen it
Do
done.
you really think it's
Yes.
possible? You think these Celtics 63 is possible?
73. I think
With these Celtics, 73 is possible.
I think they can go see Golden State 73 wins. They are that good. They have that much continuity, and all they did was bring in. They brought in.
They didn't really have any dominant big guys.
Nate, with Porzingis out, potentially Horford hurt. Anyone know if he's saying Horford hasn't played the preseason yet?
Yeah, he hasn't played preseason. I don't know if he's hurt.
I don't think Horford should play preseason.
Right. Yeah. No, I
he's
agree.
Like 19 years in the league.
He deserves to not play preseason.
I think he knows what preseason's about. I'm just gonna go on a limb there. So he's good with that.
There's no official injury designation.
So with that said, Horford obviously limited minutes. Cornette, Keetar, and who's the other guy there? Tillman.
Kata, Tillman. Oh yeah, Tillman. Baby Al Horford.
Yeah. So you think with Porzingis out, they're gonna hold the fort and still be able to win that many
73 games.
Yes.
Without Porzingis.
Why?
Why? Look at last year's playoffs. We didn't have Porzingis.
That's last year.
And last year when we won the title, when we were playing the best.
But then
teams
this goes back to the Knicks being a threat.
When we were injured and we were, winning the title, dominating in the playoffs, we didn't have Porzingis. Yes, he came back and helped, but we didn't need him to get there. So moving this season forward.
All right, I hear you there. Yeah, I see it.
He's going to come back, so he's going to help. So we're going to get better. But I just see the way we start off is we already know how to play without him. It's not a new loss. It's not, hey, let's figure it out and scramble. We did it already. Go right back to plan A, do that, and then when he comes back, you incorporate him back and we go to another level and we start beating teams by 30 points.
I like how we said plan A. You go back to plan A. He's saying it.
Yeah.
That's what I see too. I mean, what do you think about obviously in the media right now? First question out the gate to Jaylen Brown. Do you like that Tatum and Jaylen Brown especially talk shit to the media now?
Yeah.
Because like they ask the same question over and over again and they're like,
Yep.
really, motherfuckers? Like we're gonna do this again? Like again?
Yep.
Do you think they're using that to be pissed off? Do you think that's motivation enough? Do you think it's Michael Jordan shit?
For Tatum, no.
And I took that personally.
For Tatum, no.
I think Brown's taking it all as a personal attack on his inability to do something, even though he's gotten personal accolades with the Finals MVP.
Right. I think he treats it as an attack on character.
Jaylen Brown, top 20 player in the league?
Top 10.
Top 20, definitely. Top 15, I'd say.
Top 10.
I'd say top 15, top 10.
What forwards are better than Jaylen Brown?
What forwards are better than Jaylen Brown?
Or what position that if whatever Jaylen Brown's position is, what players that are that caliber there are better than Jaylen Brown?
For me, I like Jaylen a lot because he plays offense and defense.
Yep.
I just know that the league would say, I don't
No,
know.
what you would say, top 10 or top 15 or who's better?
For me,
You're saying,
as a Celtics fan, I mean, he's top 10.
Right.
If I'm being realistic.
You think the league is treating him only top 15?
Yes.
Okay.
That's more
All
so
right.
the
So
league
You
is he's viewed
think
that way.
the league treats him top 15?
Yes.
You think the league treats Tatum top 5?
No.
He gets. It's kind of because I mean like he's got the cover of 2K, which is a top 5 accolade, but he doesn't get he doesn't have the Finals MVP. He didn't play really in the Olympics, so it's like, are you being treated like a top 5 athlete? Like what other top 5 athlete would play 0 minutes in an Olympic game?
Yeah.
Was that a personal thing with Steve Kerr?
It's gonna be when he comes to Boston. I'll tell you that much. It's
know
gonna be real personal.
Do you know of a past history with Steve Kerr having an issue with Tatum?
I don't know. I just
know.
can't imagine what else it is.
Is it because he's a Jordan guy? Like, do you have unexplained beef with Michael Jordan, Steve, or what? Like,
I mean, as a North Carolina fan, I hope it's a back end Duke problem with Grant Hill running things, telling him bench the Dookie.
I want to get back on it though, because it really is the meat and potatoes of what you're talking about. Nate is saying that he's saying 73 wins. That's Bulls. That's
baloney.
No,
I don't see him doing that.
That's Bulls, and that's the Warriors.
You don't see 73 wins. You're seeing 50 something wins.
Yeah. I'm seeing high 50s. I'm not seeing 73.
I really don't understand your reasoning of they're gonna try less hard. Or
No.
something.
So
I don't-
they're gonna
don't-
want the harder road. So like
but-
a couple years ago, they purposely wanted the 1, or they purposely didn't want the 1 because of seeding.
So what?
So they
happens,
could get the Nets first, who were supposed to blow us out, and then we swept them.
But what happens in like November and December when no one's caring about seeds? Do you think they're gonna?
They will care about seeds because of the in-season tournament.
They're gonna win like 30 games in a row. I think that's what I think. I think.
I think they'll win about 15, 20 games
I could see it
right off the bat.
I could see a 20-30 game like onslaught, and then I could see like.
But so you let me just.
I want the Celtics to repeat.
I want to make
don't
sure
get me
that
wrong.
anyone watching this understands what you're saying.
Right.
So what you're saying is you think the Celtics are purposely going to lose more games than they did last year because it's a harder road. Because hold on. Because
it's the way you put it.
Because in my brain, your 82 games, your 82 games. You can't go harder or less hard. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. Like, what are they going to like not play the starters?
Yeah,
Longer
I think there's going to be load management.
For who?
For who?
Players like White or players like Holiday.
They're like 31 years old. They're 30 years old. Tatum's 27. They don't need load management.
They don't want load management either. What are you talking about?
At their age, they should be playing 48 minutes. The only
It's
reason
just the way it's. I feel like it's just the way it's gonna happen. I just think it's the way it's gonna happen. I don't know.
So you think Missoula is gonna be like, okay, Tatum, you
guy-
can only play 31 minutes today?
No,
think
it's not gonna be ever put like that. I don't think it's ever gonna be put like that.
Do you think that?
I think there's gonna be games where they purposely don't try as much. Like when, all right, so
You think they're gonna tank? Is what you're saying?
no.
You
The
said they
definition of tank now is
purposely
different.
not trying. Tanking.
I think they're purposely not going to try certain games because so you notice some games last year
That is
Tatum
such a
sat for
crazy
rest.
take.
Tatum sat for rest, or this guy sat for rest. This guy sat for rest. Those are going to be the games that we lose.
So I checked on Twitter today just to check to see like a little bit about this podcast, like what's going on. Reddit, I checked, in Twitter. Literally, the Celtics were up by 28 points last night.
Yep.
On a preseason game,
and nobody played.
Nobody played.
And Peyton Pritchard was drawing up plays.
Yep.
With them up 28 points. He's on the sideline.
Six man of the year, Peyton Pritchard.
And everybody's watching. Everybody's locked in, and they went out and ran that play. Up 28 points in
Right.
the preseason. And he thinks they're not going to try during a regular season game.
Right.
When they're drawing up plays.
They won the most games by 20 points ever last year.
The last year they had a Bulls.
They're going to find a way to stick
Warriors.
it to everybody for saying they had an easy
now,
route.
Now
And
they
you
have
think-
now they
I
have
think they're gonna-
motivation because their championship isn't even validated because everyone said it was too easy.
No,
Right.
So now they're going to run by everybody like
It
they
is
did in the
validated.
playoffs,
It is validated.
and then they're gonna dominate in the regular season in the playoffs again.
I think
It,
there's more of a chance they win 59, 60 games than they do 73. I just think that it's going to be a little bit of a harder season.
that's an easy.
We have the target on our back.
because of the rarity of winning 70 games. Two teams have done it. You're right. It's
Okay,
rare,
okay,
really.
yes, but
you got me on that one. Hot take.
change the KP injury situation, and I will buy that ticket for a 73-win season. On
I'm actually glad he's not playing the beginning of the season.
Me too.
Because then he would get hurt and be missing. No. Take as much time as you need. We're gonna win.
don't even
anyway.
play the season.
How about he doesn't even play the season at all? Who
Yeah,
cares?
just
Like,
sit the whole season.
I mean, it's projecting January. I say All-Star break.
Yeah, who cares?
Come
If he
back,
doesn't
come
come back-
after All-Star break, play 15
Al
games,
Horford too.
and let's go.
Al Horford.
You think
can
we
sit
have
right
no
along
big
with-
men to survive?
We have 3. What are you talking about?
I don't think Kata and Cornette are going to be able to do it in and out like
we
those
have
two.
4 Olympic fucking players on the team, bro.
We can do 96.
Everyone
Bulls.
matters.
We can do like the 96 Bulls and just rotate centers.
Homie, we have 4.
Just
like,
rotate them
all-
in and out.
Yep.
We got you.
What are
We
you
got.
talking about? Yeah, like we have like
We have the Olympic team.
to be the 5th guy. You're never getting a shot, so you don't need anyone that can score. Can you set picks, rebound, and isolate? That's it. Can give us
Yeah.
4 fouls. That's it. That's all we need. And you know
Can
what?
you hit an open jumper? And we drafted a sharpshooter in the first round to do that.
Can you
hey, guess
make
what,
sh-
rookie? Make this corner 3.
Can
Go
you
play
make
in Maine.
sure? Can you make sure that Al Horford doesn't play? That's it. Because we want his legs. And Horford's like, you know what? I'm gonna be smoking cigars in Dominican Republic until like All-Star break. Peace. You know what I mean? I love
Yeah.
it.
I don't know. I just had 59, 60 wins right in that area.
They're gonna win like 65 games.
you know
That's
what?
crazy. to me.
I got him up from 58, 59. He's 59, 60 now. By the end of this one, you're gonna say 73 wins.
No, I'm not. I can't buy that. No.
It's okay. You'll
I love the Celtics in
What's an over under on how many games in before you go, I think we're gonna win 73 games?
Yo, if we
We go 5-0.
no. If we go 21, 22 and 0,
You need to see 22-0 to see 73 wins.
the math you would have to give your team stay healthy.
Not for you to say we're gonna win 73 games. Like do the math wise. Like, oh, this team looks like they could win 73 games. You don't think 6 games in, you're like, wow, look at like they're dominating.
Maybe one loss in 20 games to start.
You really need 20 games.
I would need 20.
You couldn't get 10 games of beating teams by 20 points?
No.
The first 10
All right,
games,
wait, you're adding by 20 points now.
Well, I'm just saying,
You're adding by 20
What do you need to
points.
see? Like, what needs to convince you?
They won more games by 20 points than any team ever last
year. This is
So
now.
if they win
It's
their
the
first
same team.
If they win their first 10 games by 20 points, would you be like, oh, they
The
might
first 10 by 20? Yes, I'll
like,
buy
oh,
it.
they can win 73
yes,
games this
if
year.
right.
Have you seen the preseason?
So
The preseason is different from the regular season.
Okay, because they beat the Joker by
He
a
played
lot.
like what, 15 minutes?
So didn't Tatum and Brown because we were up by so much.
And the thing is, too, is like that all the way down the line with our players, like they're all accountable. Like even the 12th man is like about it, bro. Like he wants to fucking play. Like it's like lightning in a bottle shit.
If you don't want to play for
Boston,
Boston, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like,
it's a lot of players don't want to play for Boston. It's like I don't know if you're old enough to know about all that shit, but a lot of players don't want to play for Boston.
well, we'll count the rings.
and the addition of Lonnie Walker now as well.
Yes, he's gonna make this.
So tell me about Lonnie Walker because I know nothing about Lonnie
So
Walker.
Lonnie Walker was signed to, I think it's an exhibit contract. So either he's going to play in the G League in Maine for the Celtics or he's going to come here. He got signed with us, and he's trying out for a spot on the roster.
Like, where'd he come from? Who is he?
He's played on the
what's
Nets.
his history? Is he good?
He's a middle level player, good defensive player out of
Two-way
Miami.
guy.
Give me a
played for the
contemporary.
Hurricane.
Give me contemporary.
He's more like a poor man's Tony Allen.
Okay.
would be-
defense.
Defensive player.
Just not as
I
good.
like that.
Might dunk on you, but he's not the elite defender.
Oh,
but,
so Tony pre Achilles.
yeah. So he's working on becoming that defensive stopper because that's what he's
Is
known
he young?
for. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I think he's 4 years.
He's
in the
wicked
league.
driven. He keeps posting on his story like, I'm
So-
going to do this. Like,
Well, because he probably wants to play for the Celtics because they're going to win another championship, and I'm pretty sure everyone was like willing to jump on
I
that wagon.
never said they won't win another chip,
No one said you said that.
but I'm saying they're not winning 73 games.
I like Nate's bold statement of 73 games, but I also think your ridiculous take of they're going to somehow make
I'm
it
glad.
a tank. I don't understand like how that even
the
makes
way you're
fucking
putting it,
sense in English.
the wordage is like killing. I don't think they're gonna purposely tank, but there's gonna be games where their play sets and their calls are not aggressive to win,
Joe Mazzulla is a psychopath.
Wait, hold on.
which makes me believe why he would want to do the harder path. Because
To start
you know?
this off, you said there's no competition in the East. You said the Knicks aren't.
it doesn't have to be competition.
Philly's not competition.
Doesn't have to be competition.
So where are they losing these games if they're better than these teams?
Where they want to lose them.
So you're saying they're tanking? If they're losing games, they should win.
I don't think it's tanking. Do you think they tanked in Game 3 of the NBA Finals this year? No, Game 4. Sorry,
No, I don't.
when
think
we
they
got blown out by Dallas.
I don't think they tanked in any game.
They had stated
that's you know
they stated
he's
that they
ridiculous what
weren't.
he's saying, but like that.
He stated, and I think it was Tatum, oh, we were just ready to, we knew we were winning the chip, and we didn't try that hard. Check me.
No, that was no one said it that like that. No
He-
one, and Tatum did not do this.
You know?
I think it's more of a cop out to losing,
Yeah.
and you know,
But I, for what it's worth,
It was stated
It
that
was-
game wasn't taken as serious.
I don't know if it was like stated like that, but I think they did want to win it at home. Like I don't know, there was like a weird thing with that game. Like, but also there is a thing about a game like so peep this also. Like if you're up 3-0 in the finals, and like your team just doesn't have it that night, like who gives a shit? Just put them all on the bench, let the fucking rookies play, and like that way no one gets hurt. We can just go back and win at home. Who cares? We're gonna blow them the fuck. You know what I mean? Like that's my mentality of it. Like, oh, ain't your fight today? Just
So-
who cares?
I would
Like,
think
There comes the
I would think
games.
it'd be easier to wave the white
There comes the
flag.
games we get blown out early.
who cares?
What's
But no,
that?
but that
The
only
games we
happened.
get blown out early.
Well, that only happened because it was the finals.
Well, there's other games that are going to happen where we might get
I
blown
mean,
out.
They won't be the finals.
being down 21 points isn't that big a deal anymore.
Not for the Celtics. Not
No.
for the
For a
Celtics.
lot of teams, mid game. Like if you're
Right.
second quarter, you're down 21 points.
Yep.
You know, 5 minutes later, you're back in it.
Yeah, teams are turning the ball over like 14, 15 times a game
So
now.
I mean,
Well, everyone shoots 147 threes now.
Thank you, Joe.
and the Celtics are the best at doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
Who? Splash who?
So So who do you think's gonna be the starting lineup? What do you think's gonna happen? You think they leave it to Horford? You think Horford's gonna start it all this year?
Yes.
I think they'll start with Horford just for banner night, and then probably go to Cornette afterwards.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, back to backs we won't have Horford.
You know,
Well, not even that. I don't think Horford will. I think most nights Cornette's probably gonna start.
Yep.
Because like he's obviously younger. Why play Horford at all? Really?
And I think Tillman will come into his own as well.
I think Kata's gonna go back to main more
as a guy that's, you know, stand around and grab rebounds. You know, we don't need you to shoot.
Bill Wennington.
You know,
Luke Longley.
So
be big and stand in the fucking way.
He's young. He's athletic. Run the floor, grab some rebounds, and pass the ball out to anybody. Don't shoot. You know,
Cornette's a good passer
Dennis
too, right?
Cornette has a 3-game though.
Yeah, he does have a 3-game. Isn't Cornette like a really good passer too?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So like
he's got great IQ. I don't think he couldn't crack the star role, but he has to have that extra pop to him.
He can't cover anyone. His feet are so slow.
Yeah, he's not gonna happen.
So it's like you put like I said, you
he's
got
not
Embiid,
rotating.
You got Embiid out there. He's just gonna go to the post and go. You can't cover me,
Yep.
and I'll face up on you because you can't. I'll just.
That's where I miss
jab
Smart.
step. I'll dribble and go by.
That's where I miss Smart. I miss seeing Smart just walking up to the biggest dude on the court, and be like, "Yeah, I'm a dog."
And you're not worried about the Knicks, but Cat can do the same thing, and Cat can shoot the three.
You have Holiday right now who can just do the same thing you said Smart did. Holiday can do that.
Smart
shit.
has a different energy though. That's favored. That's a favoritism.
But,
He just had that different grunge, road dog.
It's almost fair to say though at this point in time that like you had to move on to him to win the chip. Like he
was part of it, just like Isaiah Thomas was part of that ring.
Yeah, but no. See, I'm the other way with it. Like
You don't think?
like to get over that hump, you had to get rid of Smart's leadership. You had to give the leadership keys to somebody else. Get that energy out of there. Smart was old guard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had to get new guard. He had nothing to do with Mazzulla. He had nothing to even do with Brad Stevens. He was like Doc Rivers guy and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like fucking.
Was he drafted when we had Doc Rivers?
Yeah, he was.
I thought he was Brad's first year
No,
draft.
He was old guy. He was old guard. He remembers he's like last the shitty teams. So like
when we had Chris Humphreys and
so
Gerald
like you know what I'm saying.
Wallace.
So like having like unfortunately I like Smart myself and he was that guy, but having someone like Holiday who makes that same defensive play, or White who makes that same defensive play, but also makes the smart offensive play.
He's more efficient
every single
Smart
time.
would chuck that ball up sometimes, and everybody in Boston would be mad.
Derek White is like a better like Smart.
Overall, he's a better shooter. And when Derek White shoots, you don't go, no. Oh, all right, cool. Every time Smart
every
shot,
Boston fan can
you didn't know whether
say
you were
now.
hoping it went in or
in Holiday too. Like I mean,
Holiday can put up 40.
Yeah, I mean, like he's not gonna put up 40 all the time, but like
he subbed out for Giannis a couple times a couple years ago, and he broke the scoreboard almost every time he had that opportunity.
I mean, to me, Drew Holiday is the linchpin of us winning that title.
He is the Shamrock.
Why?
That being the key trade, his defense leads to so much offense that I don't know if it shows up in the stat box. I'm sure there's some really smart guys with analytics, but he forces things. They doesn't necessarily turn over to that person getting a point, but it might be a foul because of a transition, something else where in the box score it doesn't go, you scored off of that turnover, but someone isn't on the floor anymore because it was a foul because he started to break away, things like that. And it's like, that guy is just playing so much harder than everybody else.
Derek White lost his dang tooth.
that is a moment.
I watched that replay and I'm like, oh my gosh.
So what was your favorite? Each one of you guys, what was your favorite moment from the playoffs last year? What was the turning point moment? What's the biggest like play? Like what's the when this is shown, when this championship run is shown in 20 years from now? What's the play they're going to turn back to?
Porzingis going 5 for 5 when he first came back in the finals.
Pritchard hitting a half court shot in the game 5 of the NBA Finals. So this is what draws me and gives me goosebumps about that shot.
That first quarter with Porzingis, he was just like, you knew it was over. He was just like, he did the Jordan. He was
the Jaylen Brown Indiana game shot, it just didn't have the here it is. Like we were still in the conference finals where just a year ago we got like at that moment we like it was weird for me. We had just gotten blown out by the Heat, 3-0, came back, dropped in the conference finals. Fast forward a year, I guarantee or half guarantee there's people like, oh, are we gonna actually not like? Is this it? Is this the time? Because the first 2 rounds for us have been breezes for years. Maybe a couple years we didn't have a good round 2, but the aura of walking through the playoffs, Indiana, it just felt like, all right, it felt like clockwork, but it also, if we lose game one, this could be totally a different story. When Pritchard hit that half-court shot, it reminded me of those damn buzzer beaters Jordan Poole hit against us in the 2022 NBA Finals. That's what I was like, yep, championship is ours.
Wasn't there like a one that Porzingis though? Wasn't there one that he didn't he like hit a three and then run it and block a shot or something like that in the same play or something like that?
Yeah, the first game he came back,
Yep.
it was the first quarter. He went. I think he only played like
He didn't
12
even start
minutes that game.
He didn't start.
No,
And he had like 20
he had
points.
like 15 points in the first quarter, and then he
Yeah.
played maybe like 7 minutes the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But like it just gave you that feeling, He scored. He played defense. He was all over. I think he had like 3 blocks in the first quarter.
Didn't he like injure a different part of his leg?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
Wild.
And he was saying too that he's like, I want to play. He's like, if it's up to me, I'm playing. And it's like,
It was just
gotta
for
play.
me. It was just that feeling, like it was like oh, he's coming back because we were already good, but it was like then you just saw it.
Yep.
It's like it was almost that Willis Reed walking out of the tunnel. You don't really do much, but just you being.
I was so worried.
I'm gonna be on this court when this.
I was
goes
so
down.
worried all playoffs for some reason until like game 5. Because like halftime, I was like, I couldn't grasp that we're about to win this. So the whole time I'm like locked into every game. I'm like, come on, just do it, win. Like just took over. So I can't name like a single moment besides the Pritchard one that made me sold on it, because I had seen the Patriots lose the Super Bowl too many times to think that we had anything in the bag.
That's your age showing.
Yeah, that's my age showing. But yo, listen.
Right? Ain't that crazy? Like, cause bro, they won like every Super Bowl. What are you talking about? Like,
Listen, when I was growing up,
they lost
when I was
one at the end of it, but like, who cares? We won
It was my
so many
birthday.
Super Bowls. By the time they started losing Super Bowls were boring. It was like, all right, like another one of these.
Not 2008, because my birthday used to fall on the Super Bowl weekend every single year. So my birthday party was Super Bowls. Long story short, when they lose the Super Bowl on my birthday, it would sting a little different. Like, I still can't say hi to a Giants fan.
Well, okay, guys. So when is opening night?
Opening night, October 22nd.
Who are they playing?
Knicks.
Okay. What do you think? You guys looking at me like so what's the predictions for opening night?
Opening night.
Opening night predictions.
I got the Celtics winning by 17 points.
Okay.
That was very specific.
That was very. I'll give it on the money.
I didn't want to say 20 because he seemed so.
I was about to. I thought you were
anti.
I thought you were about to say. I thought you were about to say something like, "Yeah, we'll win by 50," and I'm like, "Come on, man." No. I think it'll be like a 7 to 10 point game.
You really don't like this year's team.
That's got nothing to do with it.
I'm getting that vibe off you that you're doubting how good.
No,
the Knicks they're a scrappy team from last year. They just traded for Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay.
They've always
is he still
battled
good,
us.
Is he good? He's one of those guys that never quite could make his potential.
He's a big man who likes to shoot threes more than go to the post.
But that should be a good thing now, though.
now
It is now, but at the same time, like
he's been doing his whole career.
He's old now. Huh?
He's
No, he's still
20
got some gas in the
28,
tank. 29, yeah,
So
30.
so what's the issue then? I don't understand. Like he was supposed to be one of
Chemistry.
the best players ever.
His team drafted a guy to hold the ball and goes to the basket like Jordan and dunk on everybody. So they don't need a big guy.
But
So-
they can't do
the Knicks got him. That should be good. Not good for us. Good for the Knicks, though, right? Because is he someone that potentially could battle Porzingis?
Yes.
Yes, and that's why I was asking him what's going. Why doesn't he free Towns? Because he's a big guy who can shoot threes, so he's gonna pull you away from the basket.
Is he an injury guy?
Yes. Cat's an injury guy, right? Ankles.
He's had a couple. I mean, all big guys have them.
Yeah.
No more than any other big guy. No, he's not Embiid.
Okay,
missing 35, 40
There's those
games.
guys and there's Horford's. Like
I would
so
put the
there's-
Knicks over Philly if I'm worried about teams.
Well, who was the other guy that's good on the Knicks that like everyone thinks is the best?
Jalen Brunson.
Right?
Jalen
They think
Brunson.
He's the best
Okay.
guy like in the whole league.
He's nutty. He's nutty.
I think he's overrated personally. A lot of analysts have him as a top 10 basketball player over Jaylen Brown, which is what I think Jaylen Brown gets offended by when commentators are
And
saying
what has this guy done that Jaylen Brown has not done?
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
He went from a backup in Dallas to the guy in New York, and basically he's done the equivalent of Linsanity. And he took over New York. He made the Knicks quasi relevant, and then the Knicks brought in everyone from Villanova.
Yep, the Villanova squad.
So now it's Villanova light.
They never played on the court together.
and they managed to be the 4 seed in the East, and they brought in talent to upgrade, which is great.
They brought,
but I mean, at the end of the day,
I don't know, man. Nate seems like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. I got
OG Anunoby.
I don't follow any of this shit, so I don't know. But you seem like you know what the fuck
I
you're
don't know.
talking
OG
about.
Anunoby is a good defender for them though. That he can lock down Tatum and Brown.
they have a lot of solid players. Cat's the first superstar.
Yes. Oh, of course.
We've got 2 superstars.
They traded. Traded their guy, and that was Randall.
DiVincenzo.
Right, DiVincenzo. You see that? You see that last night he was barking at the Knicks.
Oh yeah, he's got beef with Tibbs, and Tibbs was one of those. He's a guy who plays 5 guys 48 minutes.
Yeah, load management. No, what is it?
So that goes in the face of your theory that the Celtics might
Is there any thing that might be a surprise or something from this season? If there's like one prediction that might be off the
Celtics
cuff,
or NBA.
and Celtics.
Celtics biggest surprise. Jason Tatum winning MVP.
Jaylen Brown winning MVP.
Oh shit!
I'm a Tatum guy through and through, but they're not gonna give Tatum that flower,
I'm a Carolina fan, so as much as I like Tatum, he's a puke from Duke, so Jaylen Brown.
What'd you say he was?
He's a puke from Duke. So all Carolina guys know, I'd rather Jaylen Brown. Same team winning. I'm rooting for the Celtics.
Yeah.
But if I get my choice, I'm rooting for Jaylen Brown to do it.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's nothing because of his play style or anything like that.
No. Actually, one of my boys from Orlando is I work with him. He's actually Jaylen Brown's cousin too. So he always sends me stuff. He's like, "Yo, tell my cousin." I'm like, "I don't see him." I'm like, "I'm not in that circle."
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm in a circle with you. Like, I know you.
You're the guy. You're the guy.
I'm like, "You go text your cousin."
I think the biggest thing in the league this year, that would be the biggest shock though for the whole league, because we got the Celtics down, is the Lakers being relevant. Yuck, dude.
You think the Lakers are relevant?
No, that'll be the biggest shock of the NBA this year.
I don't think that'll be shocking because I don't think it's going to happen.
That's why it would be shocking if it happened.
I don't think it's going to be shocking because I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think there's a prayer that they're going to be good.
Celtics All-Stars this year.
I think this will be the year they actually give them the respect and give them 4 All-Stars.
Really? Okay.
I'll buy that.
I think they'll finally do it. And like I said, it'll come because we'll be on pace to win 73 games.
Can Missoula be coached this year?
Yep.
Because he wasn't coached last year, right?
Yep.
You got to skip a year, but you can do it?
Yep. Yeah, you got to skip. He was it 2 years ago.
Yeah, so it was 2 years ago. He couldn't be last year. So it could potentially be the Celtics.
He don't even want it.
But it potentially could be the Celtics, 4 Celtics
right.
in Missoula could be.
The Celtics could sweep the award,
Is that what I was going to go there?
Besides potentially Defensive Player of the Year, I don't know if we have anyone that's going to go that hard other than possibly Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
I think Tatum.
I don't see him getting
Holiday
season
is
MVP.
Potential Defensive Player of the Year.
He should
They don't
always
like
be.
to give it to little guys. They gave it to Smart, and that was the first time.
They don't give it to guards that much.
And that was the first time in, 20 years since Gary Payton?
Yep.
Or 30 years.
It was a long time.
So I don't see them going back to a guard.
You think defensive first teams?
Derek White.
Defensive first team, I think this might be the year that they actually, like I said, I'm big on Jaylen Brown. I think they'll give Jaylen Brown his respect. They left him off.
They only have one defensive team, right?
3.
First and second. Oh, is there third now?
I believe there's 3.
They left Jaylen Brown off all 3 teams?
I believe so. Yeah, exactly. That's why I think.
Yeah, they're picking.
That's why I believe Brown's gonna be motivated.
They were
play. He didn't get the Olympics. He didn't get his defensive team.
They were like, oh,
but
we
he
can't.
did get his finals.
The media.
So they think there's like 12 players better than him or something. That's great. That's great.
The media seems to think that since we can't break them up, let's just continuously gatekeep them from anything besides what we can't control.
I think it's more Nike than the media. I think Nike controls a lot of the stuff that goes on.
Okay.
And they are the.
What do you mean about Nike?
Yeah, I mean,
the Olympics sponsored by they're sponsored by Nike. They have that the glove behind everything that is making things go, and they make sure they pick the team. So they could have had Jaylen Brown on the team,
and they picked
but
White.
He's controversial. He would be the perfect Kawhi substitute because if you go, what does Jaylen do? What does Kawhi do? The perfect person would be Jaylen Brown. Not Derek White. Even though Derek White, great player, he's not the.
Who's better, Kawhi or Brown?
Brown. I mean, 2 years ago before the injuries, Kawhi Leonard, but now at this point he can't.
Kawhi does have those accolades.
Durant, Tatum.
Durant.
Ooh, wow. Okay, why?
Because Tatum's a dude, pube or whatever.
Puke from Duke.
Puke from Duke.
KD is. I mean, he's been there. He's done it. As far as being that guy, Tatum's got the chip now. So I mean, he's gaining ground. But I need to see more from Tatum.
Hey, you know what Tatum didn't do? He didn't go to a super team to win a title.
Scoring champions, anybody on the Celtics?
No. I think they share too much.
Yeah. That's a sacrifice. They don't care.
And I think they'll be up too much to even to have, they'll win, again, too many 20-point wins.
We're not going to have a 30 points a game score either.
Who's coming out the East to face them?
Coming out of the
you
East.
You guys both have Celtics number 1, right? For the
yeah.
East.
Right.
So who's coming out of the East to face them?
In the conference final?
Yeah.
I think we're going to see Milwaukee.
No.
I think it'll be a part of the story. I think it'll be part of the story. I
don't mean to laugh or not have my poker face on, but are you kidding me? Milwaukee?
Yes.
Why? What possibly would make you think Milwaukee?
Story-wise, last year we got through the heat. We got over that hump that we had to get through. We didn't play Milwaukee last year, and I don't think we played them the year before.
Oh, it's going to be so good. So you think that the NBA storyline of Milwaukee with Giannis and Dame
versus Tatum and Brown
instead of a historic rivalry, say, I don't know, the Knicks.
If the Knicks don't blow it,
and their beloved,
they still have Thibodeau.
And their beloved Brunson, who they rank ahead of Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
You don't think that the NBA would love to market that old school two historic teams rivalry? You think the Milwaukee Bucks, the middle of the Midwest, nowhere.
They gave us
Milwaukee.
They gave us.
Do you know what's out there?
Nothing.
No one wants to go.
Do you know
the NBA's not marketing Milwaukee. All right, the big marketing machine. They want Miami. They want LA. They want Chicago.
Well, why didn't they give us New York
Milwaukee.
last year? Why didn't they give us New York last year?
New York sure did try. They brought in Villanova. They tried everything they could. And now
I think Milwaukee.
But no, seriously, now they brought in more. But then the NBA doesn't want Indiana either. Like,
but they
you can't confuse them marketing and storylines and them wanting something to happen in a small market.
I would love.
Is Indiana as good as portrayed last year?
No,
because they played the best.
They didn't make any upgrade.
I saw they played the best.
They didn't upgrade.
I think Indiana's a good team. I think they lack the superstar. Halliburton, quality player,
young.
Edge of the superstar. I mean, he got the Olympic. I don't think he should have had it over Jaylen Brown either.
Never, dude.
But he's on that edge, that young cusp where you should start getting that treatment, not before Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
I don't understand that. But okay, you got that one guy. I don't know who else they got.
Miles Turner.
Okay, you got a big stiff. I mean,
T.J. McConnell.
We got Cornette.
T.J. McConnell.
We got Cornette. I mean, we got a big stiff that can kind of shoot threes. I mean, he's
They got Siakam. They got T.J. McConnell. They got Miles Turner. They got Tyrese Halliburton. Like, Indiana is like your dark horse team, but they're not good.
They have
shout out my homie Little Facts. Your team ain't good.
They've got a lot of mid-level guys.
And
as I said, they're missing the superstar. So we got two. Why'd
they play so good against the Celtics last year in the playoffs then?
Because they play the same pace.
They're fast. They've got about 7 guys and they play fast.
Yep.
So could that be a problem again this year?
Regular season maybe.
Maybe in the regular season, but not even, because it's only 4 games.
Yep.
The other teams will have a problem with them. We have the superstars, and that is like the kryptonite. That's like having a good quarterback in football.
That's kind of what happened against like the Mavs, I guess, at the end of the day. Even though Luka is supposedly the best, at the end of the day there was 4 against 2.
Exactly.
And you're expecting Kyrie to shoot good in the Garden. It doesn't happen.
But it's not even that. When the Celtics come in with 2 stars that can put up 25, 30 points on any given night, and then they have 2 of the guys you say they have 4 of in Indiana and whatever.
And then
the supporting
guys
crews
that could put up 30. Because Holiday could put up 30.
Right.
White could put up 30.
White can put up.
You still have like Pritchard, who sometimes could put up 30. Horford could every now and then still do it. Last year he definitely.
What worries me is the sale of the Celtics.
Then you also have Hauser, can every now and then can put up like 30. You know what
I've lost so many bets on Hauser. He'll be the last leg of my parlay, and he will make 2 shots and he'll miss 3 threes. I'm like, dude, you just needed 1 more, and I made $2,000. You know.
So just to finish these predictions off before we wrap, out of the West, who's coming to face the Celtics?
Out of the West,
the West. Yeah,
I'm scared of Dallas.
I'm not afraid of Dallas. I'm thinking OKC. As a young team, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander
in Minnesota
is really good,
He is really good.
And for some reason, hot take, I think the Spurs. I think the Spurs with Wemby and CP3.
That would be a scary finals.
I think they're gonna have some kind of connection. And how
I think they'll
no
make
one
a
could cover
trade.
Wemby last year, and now he's got someone to get him the ball.
Yep.
And he can dunk.
They
from
just need
basically
that
foul line
one
with
guy.
step.
So that Wemby guy's the truth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not the truth, but yeah, he's
Is he gonna like change the way that like the game's gonna be played?
The game is the game. They're gonna have to adapt some way to stop him
Shaq
from.
stuff?
He can have you seen Space Jam? Remember Space Jam?
Yeah. I've seen the
He's
dunks. Yeah.
he's like that. Like he doesn't have to jump to dunk, and he can reach from so far away. So if he does jump, he can reach across you. Now he's got a guy like CP3 who's a magician with the ball. So he's like, oh, here you go, and then all of a sudden the ball's right there. And he's like,
they just extended Chris Paul's career like 5 years with that guy.
Is it going to be like Shaq stuff? Like they have to change like back to the basket rules?
Hard to tell. His pivot is like wicked long.
They got to do something.
I don't know what it's gonna be, but he's gonna start dominating once. Again, he's a kid. I think he's 19.
Is Shaq the last person they changed the rules for?
No, LeBron.
What rules did they change for LeBron?
I don't know. Every time he cries, they'll change it.
but they were like, but Shaq was
actually, if you do want to say the flopping rule, I want to say they blame.
Yeah,
it on
but
LeBron.
that's not the same thing. I mean, like Shaq was like just manhandling people. To the
He's not
going to
revolutionize the game.
They had to change like the rules. And the hack of Shaq, they had to change that because the way people were playing defense on him, and it was wild.
I think there's someone. I don't know if there's a way to defend him as of yet. As he gets stronger, more so I'm thinking like Giannis when he came in and he was skinny. And then he learns more moves.
And he gets massive.
Wemby's taller, so now he's got another 7 inches.
On Giannis.
And that 7 inches on arm length. So everything Giannis can do where he takes 2 dribbles from the three-point line to dunk, Wemby can do that with 1 dribble from the three-point line. And now he's got, like I said, a magician like Chris Paul to dish him out the ball, so he can do it from everywhere. And so basically, anywhere inside the three-point line, Wemby can dunk the ball.
Yep.
So it's going to be a crazy thing once.
You said from anywhere inside the three-point line, this dude can dunk the ball.
Yep.
Yeah. He can basically one step he can dunk.
He's almost as tall as the hoop to the 3 line.
So yeah, inside he's
MVP.
Jaylen Brown MVP. He will be in the race for MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
Wow. Okay.
As a second-year player,
I think Tatum will be in the MVP race, but I think Anthony Edwards is winning the MVP.
You're saying Wemby will be in the race for Defensive Player of the Year and.
Both, yes.
Both. He'll be as second-year player.
Yes.
For Wembanyama?
Another Spurs guy.
Yes.
Is Popovich still coaching over there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Popovich is still coaching.
He's got to be 155 years old.
Yeah. For MVP, I think that Anthony Edwards would win it. And then I think...
Is he the truth?
From everything I've seen, Anthony Edwards is the next coming of... I want to say... They say Jordan, I would say Kobe.
Is he going to try hard?
Yeah. Have you seen the starting 5?
Because to me, the copy is never as good as the original. So Kobe's not Jordan. So everyone's like, oh, he's the next Jordan. I would go, he's the next Kobe because he does put in that work.
Yep.
He does go hard every time that you see him play. He doesn't seem like he ever shorts of. I don't, it's Minnesota, so I don't get to see all of his games.
Selfish?
No, not a selfish player. He basically he'd want to try to divert to Cat, but Cat's like, it's your team. He's like, I can see you doing it. So he's one to be able to go ahead, you can have it, but he always he's like, I'm gonna take that at the end of the game. In the press conference, he's like, yeah, that was me, I missed, and he owns it. So his accountability is through the roof as well.
Mm-hmm. If something's gonna sink him, what's it gonna be?
Lack of talent around him, because they traded his best player. for you to be the man, he's gonna be able. His numbers are gonna go up this year, but they traded his best player.
Yep.
So it's gonna hurt. Maybe they figure something out with the lesser guys, but I just don't see how you replace a guy like Cat.
So Caveman, Celtics are playing who in the finals?
Celtics are going to play Dallas in the finals.
Who's going to win?
The Celtics are going to win in 6 games.
6 games.
Yep.
Okay. Nate, who's playing in the finals?
Celtics OKC.
What's it going to be?
Celtics sweep the young guys. They're learning. They're going to be like the carbon copy of the Celtics, where they're going through
their GM is great at getting those draft picks. Oh, Sam Presti.
All right, guys, we've gone for over an hour. So as we wrap up right now, last thing you want to say to the camera?
You're watching the Causeway Cave with Caveman on Causeway.
Well, you could have said two. Any other predictions? Any other predictions? Any last words to the camera before you sign off?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nate, any last words before we sign off?
You're using the wrong cameras.
I am. There we go. Wait. Yeah.
Do I get a redo now?
You sure do.
Give him another redo.
All right. This is the Causeway Cave with the Caveman on Causeway, and I'll be the first to tell you the Celtics aren't winning 73 games this year.
I'm Nate, and I'm giving you the hot takes. 73 wins by the Celtics. Jaylen Brown wins MVP. Celtics beat OKC in the finals. Peyton Pritchard, 6th man of the year.
Ooh.
And if you got some money, put the bets in today.
Where can they find you, Caveman?
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Google.
What's the name of this? What's the name of our?
Oh, you can find the Causeway Cave on Apple Music. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Instagram. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Google.
Spell it out for the people.
CAUSEWAYCAVE.